All right, everybody, so today we're working on the e-bike battery from one of my older videos on the Nakto cruiser. This is the cruiser right here. It's that one that had the messed up battery and no controller. Well, we've got everything working. The only issue is the charger. So we've got the battery here, and it's got this charge port, and I searched for a while to find a charger with this, and what I ended up ordering was a universal 48 volt charger, and it came with a bunch of different ends, including one that looked to be the exact size of this, and it's the exact connector. It's just slightly different size, so it's too small and won't plug onto there. So super annoying. And I went to go return it, and it's actually not even returnable. So great. But what we're going to do as a solution is I'm going to take one of these short extension cords or adapter cords for the charger, and I'm actually just going to cut it up, sacrifice it, and we're going to wire the pigtail into the battery itself coming out of here so that we can just plug into this pigtail. And what that'll allow us to do is to guarantee we're doing the right voltage, so we know that the center pin on this charger is positive, because you can look at the chargers and see how the chargers, all things like this will have the symbol. See here, it's broken down. It shows you, see the center pin is positive, shell is the ground. So what we need to do is cut this open. We'll use a voltmeter to verify which wire in this wire is going to the center and which is going to the side, and then we can solder that in. And then maybe we'll even use this fake fuse. If you watch that video, you found out that that fuse is not actually even real and hooked up, so it'd be real easy to just unscrew that fuse, add this. I think this end we'll need, so this end will be sticking out of there. And then you can just plug that in and charge it, and then get this e-bike battery finally charged. Cheap too, because the charger was only like 20-something bucks. So instead of spending more time trying to find the correct charger and wasting the money on this one, let's make this one work for us. This is a diode, which means electricity will allow, this diode will allow electricity to flow into the battery, but won't let it flow out, so that you can't tap power out of this and use this to hack the battery when it doesn't have a key. So they try to prevent that by putting a diode, so you can't pull voltage out of this battery. It has to come up through the discharge port. And I'll be honest, this just looks too nice to not just unscrew this bezel to. I will mention that because this is right into the battery leads, you have to be so careful about not shorting out between the power and the ground, because that'll short out this whole battery and we could have a fire in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this very carefully, one at a time, and deliberately. So right now we will cut just the power. And then I'm even going to take this little bit of heat shrink. I cut it in the middle of the heat shrink for a reason, because what I'm going to do is pull, if it'll allow me, see, I'll pull this heat shrink up, and then see, now the end of it is actually even protected from shorting until we're ready. And then we'll take the ground wire, which is just attached right here, take these washers out and away, and now we have a nice hole we can feed our line through. Just make that a little bit more round. Be super easy. And then we'll take this. We need the female because they all have the same female. So then we will cut this off and leave as much on it as possible. Get the soldering iron going, and we will thread this up through here. And let's see how that looks. I don't mind that, but I suppose we could also leave it out and then cut a notch here so it can get sticking out and that handle can come down. But either way, we'll do that for now. Lay that down. There's the old charge port. Now, traditionally, I always use a standard soldering iron and solder and then heat shrink separately. But I'm actually real low on small heat shrink, and I have a lot of these connectors. If you haven't seen these are a piece of heat shrink with a small tube made out of solder in it. So all you have to do is heat the connection up. It'll heat shrink the tube, and then it'll melt the solder and make the connection. So I've been using these a lot on the e-bikes. So we're gonna continue to use these on this one. So we'll start by stripping this wire. Okay, now there's much less danger because this ground is connected. If you're using these, I would definitely, when they cool down, give it a pull test. Sometimes that solder doesn't have enough flux or whatever to actually tin the wire while it's heating up. Traditionally, you tin a wire first to get the solder to stick, and the heat shrink ones don't really have that ability. So when we're doing these, I make sure to shrink the ends first, because when this solder starts melting, it can flow, and if you don't have your ends closed, it can technically flow right out. So start with the ends. Okay, that one's good. All right, I think we're done. It was that simple. Now it is color coded, but just to be safe, we're gonna go ahead and we're doing resistance. Let's move it to beep. So then we're gonna go, make sure you're not touching the center, just the side, so that should be ground. And then we're gonna come over here. See, so the side's correct. Now, do I have enough skill to do the positive? We'll have to go here and then oh, I wonder if it's not, the diode might be stopping it. I'm now going to zip tie this washer onto the back of this wire so that this wire can't be yanked out. See how the washer is zip tied. The zip tie itself I would use if it was a tighter hole, but because it's so big, add the washer. Now it can't come out, and now we have the option to run it up like this, or we can push it back in and have it all nice and tucked away like that. Okay, let's go ahead and put this back together. And there we go. Now we got the charger plugged in through our modification in the battery, and we're actually charging it. With some pretty simple modification. So that's how to modify an e-bike battery. Be very careful, modifying batteries is not recommended. But of course, we're not actually modifying the battery. This is just a case that holds a sealed battery inside of it. I wouldn't recommend opening a sealed battery. We're just adding a charging port. It's pretty simple. So if that video was helpful, make sure to give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not already. Check out some of my other e-bike projects in this video playlist down here. And I'll catch you guys next time.